you're living under a rock, Kendrick Lamar dissed J. Cole on Metro Boomin and Future's album with the song Like That, where he sent shots at J. Cole and also Drake. Now today, J. Cole just released an entire new project where he is replying to Kendrick Lamar, and we're getting an all-out war. The song 7 Minute Drill is an entire song just dedicated towards Kendrick, and we're blessed with 2 beats on it. The first beat sounded like a bit of a trap Detroit type of beat produced by T-, and then we swap into an entire different world where we got a beat from Conductor Williams, who's known for producing these boom-bap type beats with the likes of Griselda, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make both of these type beats and also switch them in. So let's just get straight into it. Let's start with the first beat, which is roughly around 170 BPM. If we take a listen to J. Cole's melody, play the melody right now.
Yeah. Turn it up.
It sounds like it's in a Phrygian scale because it sounds like the notes are doing something like this, with also then a top lined kind of arp on top of it. So we could do... Now obviously I don't want to use the piano, but I'm just getting it so I can actually tell the notes. We're going to come into Analog Labs. We're going to take this like little synth key. To make this a little bit more full, we're actually just going to clone it and pitch it up an octave. That sounds way better. I like to add a little bit of crystallizer onto these fast note melodies, as it kind of makes them sound a little bit more crazy, but also a little bit of touch of reverb. If you're wearing headphones, you can kind of hear that the crystallizers is making the melody move. Next, keeping it in Analog Labs, we're going to take this pad and we're just going to copy the melody. It's got like a mad, like kind of sweepy kind of effect to it, which I kind of like. In 7 Minute Drill, I feel like I can hear 2 chords being played underneath the notes. So I'm going to come into Analog Labs and we're going to take a choir. I'm turning this velocity way down because I kind of want it just underneath the melody. Because our root note is C sharp, I'm going to try and make some sort of chord with C sharp. I'm going to take one more choir from X-Band and I'm going to simply copy and paste. I feel like this is the bare bones of the melody. I want a little bit more texture in there. I'm going to come into my Sound Shelter Volume 1 and I think I'm going to take some sort of phrase. And turn that right down in the mix. Lastly, in the melody, I can hear like the use of a bell. There's a lot of bells going on. So instead of a bell, we're going to try to use our own sort of accent. I like that one. I feel like this is probably enough for the first melody. Time to throw down some quick drums on top of this, because I'm trying to rush to get to the second part of the beat. I can't lie. I'm excited to try and make the second beat. We're going to start off with a 2-step hat. Now, once I have the snare in, this is where I go back to the hat. I'm going to create my rolls around the snares. We're taking my turn me up kick, maxing out the volume here. You know what? I think we can pitch this. I feel like I hear like a lot of zappy kind of percussion sounds, so we're going to be using these two. Using all sounds from the HOODTRAP drum kit. One bit of sauce here I will show you is how to get your kick and your 808 sounding nice while playing together. So as you can see, this is where my kick is routed to. I'm going to come down here and click sidechain to this track, because this is now my 808. On my 808, I'm using Track Spacer by Waves. You want to come into processing and sidechain it here. I'm taking the John 808 that's actually from my HOODTRAP drum kit. It sounds relatively similar to the 808 that's actually used in 7 Minute Drill. And we're just putting down a pattern like this. Now, a problem that a lot of people have is when your kick and your 808s clash together. Now, using Track Spacer, it's no longer an issue. So as you can see, every time the kick hits, the 808 ducks underneath it. and we're just going to place one single note. Sounds pretty nice. To be honest, this is kind of it for the first half of the beat. I mean, the first half of the beat. This is the easy part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new project to start the second beat, because it's going to be too messy here if I start changing BPMs and all of that kind of thing. Now, the second beat, it's produced by Conductor Williams and I think a couple of other people. I think Al Hug is another producer from it. And like I said, he's a connoisseur of all these boom-bap type beats. But it's not like your normal boom-bap. This is like the Griselda style. In my opinion, the best type of boom-bap. And I'm excited to try this. The style revolves around chopped up samples, greasy and dusty sounding drums, and that's extremely important in these type of beats. Your sound selection is so key, from samples to drum samples. And our friend for this video is going to be Serato Sampler. I'm going to be using this to help chop up some samples. Now, before this video, I went out and I've found a couple of sounds that I do want to use from my melodies. This is the first thing that I found. And I've thrown it into Serato Sampler, and I feel like these are the two chops that I want. But I think we can mess with the pitch in here, so I think I might go up 3. Yeah. I want a gap at the end as well. I'm doing that on purpose. One major thing when making these type of beats is that swing is very important. You do not want this to sound robotic. You don't want them to make it sound like it's been made on a PC. You want this to sound as real as possible and authentic. To do this when chopping samples, you can like move these notes just so they're slightly off grid. And once we have this, I'm going to render this out. Once rendered out, I'm throwing ferric TDS onto it. I'm going to up the dynamics and saturation up both by 100%. This is just going to make the sample seem a lot louder. Alright, next part, I do have another sample loaded in. And I like this part here. Once again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm throwing ferric TDS on it again. I kind of like it. That could be hard. It's like a stab. Just trust the process here. This will come together. Something else that's noticeable in this second part of the beat is that there's a lot of use of like sound effects and like nearly like it sounds like sirens and alarms and these type of things are going off. So I've taken some sort of like, I don't even know what you want to call that. Alright, this is starting to piece together slightly. I feel like I need a bit of a drum groove on top of this. I'm calling in the help of a big boy. We are in fact playing in the drums like this by hand, because I've never done this before and I want to. I have this keyboard for so long and I've never really used it. So let's put this to the test. I'm gonna bring in like a second section for the drums where I add in like an extra like couple of snares just to add a little bit more movement. One thing that I'd also like to point out that I haven't actually stated, to get natural swing without actually like offsetting your drums, you can just turn up the swing up here in the main channel rack. So I have mine set to 20%. Bringing in some open hats. Now, one thing that this was definitely missing at the very start, like I said, when that beat first drops in the J. Cole song, there's lots of like, it sounds like sirens and mad just random noises, and there's a little bit of vocals and stuff. So I'm after sampling something from a Bryson Tiller song that I feel like fits perfectly in this. Bro, when I put this all together, now I feel like I might like take the noise, swamp it in reverb and delay and put it on the drop. How do we actually link these two beats together? I'm gonna render out both beats and I'm gonna throw them into a new FLP. This sounds so weird listening back to the first beat after making some like boom bap, but so right now we're in 170 BPM. Now once again, in J. Cole's project, Conductor puts in his tag on this little bar drop before the beat switch, and I think it sounds insanely hard. So what I'm doing is I've taken my laugh, automated the pitch with it, and then we're just gonna drag in the other beat. Bro, that is sick. Crazy. This is my first time making this type of beat, so make sure you smash the like button for it, man. I enjoyed making this video a lot. Let me know if you want to see me make more of these type of sampled boom bap type beats, because I this heavy. I don't even think I was really talking for much of that video. I was just vibing out. But yeah, man, let me know in the comments. Are you team Kendrick? Are you team J. Cole? I'm team J. Cole, man. Appreciate you for watching, man. Make sure you run me up on all socials. SlipperyHaze, TikTok, Instagram are the main two. Yeah, man. Love in a bit.